Welcome everyone to Nikki Loves Books. Nikki here, and we have a bookish box to unbox today. So this should be our March 2024 bookish box. So yes, bookish box is very delayed, but I literally got my February box like last week or 2 weeks ago. So they're working on trying to get these shipped out. Let's go ahead and jump in. So after pulling out all the items, just show you guys one by one, this box definitely seems like so it doesn't seem like there's anything crazy special in here, but we'll see once we actually open the boxes and look at the products. Of course, first off, we have to go through the newsletter. We have our typical welcome to Bookish Box. You have choices and options of book and goodies, just the books, or books, goodies, and shirt. So choices and options, which is definitely a good thing. Then it does get into the detail of the bookish box for the month, and we're going to skip right over that. And then it does the same thing for the Darkly box because it is one newsletter for both boxes. Again, we're going to skip over that because we don't want to talk about those items until we get to the Darkly box. One thing that they started doing in the newsletter, which I'm enjoying, and that is recommending other books if you end up enjoying the books of the month from both boxes. And then they've highlighted some items in the Bookish Box shop. We also get a Spotify playlist that is inspired by the books and the themes of the month. However, it is just one playlist for both boxes, which I'm not crazy about. I wish they did separate playlists, but still, a Spotify playlist is always nice. Then they gave us a fun Fantasy Life mash. So this is a game where you pick a number 1 through 10. You know, you have a generator or you roll a dice to get that number, and then you just go through the things to find out what your fantasy life is like. So that's kind of fun. Hopefully you don't land on S and get a shack, though, to live in. Let's be honest, though, it's probably all we can afford these days. Next, we have more emotional support animals of the staff, along with their book recommendations. So it looks like this month we have 2 turtles and a frog, which is super cute. And lastly in the newsletter, it is the information about their social media fam. Really important thing that we do need to know from the newsletter is, of course, the theme for the month. And the theme for our March 2024 bookish box is Drawn to Darkness. So our first item is this House of Night Campfire mug. So this is inspired by The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, and absolutely loved that book. I need to read the second one. Here is our mug. And I will definitely say this item was one of the ones that I was actually looking forward to, but now seeing it, it's kind of just, I like the design. It's just, it's more of a plain mug. And some people might totally like that, and that is okay. Just definitely not for me. Like, I like a little bit more pizzazz if I'm going to get a special edition mug. Campfire mug. Gather around the campfire while you drink from this House of Night mug inspired by The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This campfire mug is BPA free, hand wash only, dishwasher not recommended. Designed by At the Bookish Box. I do like the fact that they included that because I never know with my mugs, like I'm like, are they dishwasher safe? Are they not dishwasher safe? I've been putting them in the dishwasher, so that might not be a great thing. All in all, it's a cute idea, and I generally like mugs, but this is one that I'm probably not going to keep. It's a little bit plain Jane for me, and that's just a personal taste. So next up, we got the other item that I was like, oh, this might be really cool, so I'm scared now to see what it looks like because I'm like, maybe it's not going to be cool. Okay, so we have Blood and Ash series inspired acrylic bookends. So that's why I thought it was going to be cool. Bookends necessary and needed, definitely. And generally, I've liked items that have been inspired by the Blood and Ash series that I still have not read yet, and I really need to, but let's go ahead and take a look, and hopefully this ends up being cool looking. Okay, and these do not look terrible at all. I think they're actually pretty cool, and oh my god, you can't see it because of the reflection. Let me grab something really quick. Okay, so here is the first one. It says bow before your queen or bleed before her. So these are super pretty. I do like them. I do like the quote, even though I have not read from Blood and Ash. This quote I've seen quite a few times. Acrylic bookends. Keep your books neat and your bookshelves decorated with these beautiful acrylic bookends inspired by the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, designed by At the Bookish Box. So this item I like. I just have nowhere to put bookends, but I'm going to keep these for the future. Next up, we have this little pouch that says Mood Reading Coin. I'm definitely not excited about this item. I think the coins that we get from book boxes are just unnecessary. So here's the coin. It has TBR on one side and Comfort Read on the other. Reading coin. Are you a mood reader who struggles with deciding which book to read? Let fate determine whether you will read a book on your TBR or a comfort read with this two-sided reading coin designed by at the Bookish Box. I personally don't need reading coins. I just kind of make decisions on my own, kind of have a system that works for me. So definitely not an item I find useful or want to keep. What I will say about the coins is that they are pretty weighty. I do like the weight on them, and I usually like the design, but I just have no use for them. Next up, we do have our literary Leadlight bookmark, introducing the third collection of 2024's literary Leadlight bookmarks. This one's theme is magic systems and features stained glass pieces inspired by the various magic used in our favorite novels. These are all designed by No One Designs. The fandoms include A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark, and that is the rare one. We have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which is the extra rare, and then Legendary is inspired by The Witch Collector by Carissa Weeks. So I have not read any of these books. I do believe all of them are on my TBR though, and I did order the special edition of Powerless from Outcry. So I don't really have a preference for which one I get. I guess if I went by design on the cover here, I think the rare one, A Court This Cruel and Lovely, I think that one's the one that kind of speaks to me most as far as like just imagery and what I like about it. So let's go ahead and see which one I have. Oh, and that's just good luck there. I did get the rare one. So this is from A Court This Cruel and Lovely, and that was the one that I liked as far as picture-wise. And the reason why I liked this one compared to the others is that I do like the fact that it's black and then it has a moon. It was the moon in the black background that really captured my attention. So I am happy with this one. The other ones are definitely cool, and I do like that they were all different shapes. And our last bookish item before we get to the book is our art print. Our April 2024 Bookish Box theme announcement by Natalie Bernard Arts features the artwork of Lore from Lore of the Wilds by Annalie Sabrana. Remember, all magic comes at a price. Next month, you'll find out exactly what that price is. And as always, the art prints are beautiful. But I am not familiar with Lore of the Wild, so that might be a book that I need to at least look at and see if it needs to be added to my TBR. So of course, before getting to the book, we're going to go ahead and talk about the items. And the only item that I really, really loved was the bookends. And then I did appreciate my bookmark. So I was happy with that. Art prints, always beautiful, but I also don't need art prints. I do appreciate them and I do like art. So I like having them, but I'm like, it's not necessarily an item that I'm like, oh my God, I love this. So for me, it was just the bookends and the bookmark that I really enjoyed in this box. Everything else kind of just take it or leave it. So that's where I'm at. I kind of feel like this is a very mediocre box, so it's not the worst box ever I've had from Bookish Box, but it's definitely not a wow box. As always, drop me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Totally okay if you like the items that I didn't. Totally okay if you hated the items that I liked. We're allowed to have different opinions. So definitely let me know your thoughts on the items and the box overall. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video if you want to see me do more unboxings. All right, and our book this month is actually a book that I bought before I found out Bookish Box was doing a special edition. So our book this month is Sanctuary of the Shadow. So definitely a book I wanted to read since I bought it all on my own. Our featured title is Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher. For humans, Salazar's is a place of mystery and wonder. For Harrow, it's a place to hide from those who slaughtered her entire clan. A haven where she can disguise both her abilities and who she really is, until he arrives. He has no recollection of who or even what he is. He only knows that he's a monster with wings and powerful abilities never seen before. But beneath the layers of rage and isolation, one glimpse into those inky black eyes reveals a soul that calls out to the loneliness in Harrow. And so she chooses him. She's drawn to the mystery of him, her unquenchable need for his kiss. And as powerful enemies align and conspire against them, Harrow knows their only hope is escape. Now, with every secret she unlocks from his past, a shadow from her own whispers free, luring enemies who will stop at nothing to get their final revenge on Harrow. And she's given them the perfect weapon, because her winged beast is not what he seems. But maybe it's time they finally learn. Neither is she. So yes, I bought this book all on my own because it sounded so interesting. I am totally down for romances that kind of involve a monster, a demon, a villain, all for it. So let's go ahead and get into the details of our exclusive Luxe edition. We of course have an exclusive cover, which is super pretty. And the back says, "Welcome to Salazar's incredible elemental circus. Invisible, invincible, the most dangerous killer in existence, myth or reality. The answer lies within, but enter at your peril." We have reversible dust jacket artwork. We have a printed hardcover case, which does a really great job of capturing that circus element. Illustrated end papers. Stenciled edges all the way around. And then we also have the printed author signature inside. And lastly, we do have the Cover Lust sticker. The cover of our exclusive Luxe edition, Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher, is too beautiful to only display on your shelf. Place this exclusive Cover Lust sticker on your e-reader or keep it in your reading journal. At Avondale Art designed this beautiful cover. So when will I be able to read this book finally? It's gonna be a minute. So I'm currently reading Hold Me Down, which is the first book that I got from my June Baddies book box. And then I will be reading Wicked Lies That Boys Tell, which is the second book from my Baddies book box from June. Then I have our Owl Crate Young Adult book for July, which was Sleep Like Death. And then I can finally get to Sanctuary of the Shadow. So I have books lined up, which is something I'm never going to complain about, but I knew this was going to happen. Like once Bookish Box started catching up, and then Baddies book box was late from last month, and so they had one that came this month. So I kind of feel like I'm going to be drowning in books, but that's totally okay. Death by TBR, right? So that is it, everyone. As always, thank you for being here. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to join me for all the bookish fun. We have more unboxings to get to, I'm sure, sometime next week. Have a good weekend, everyone.